Hey everybody, welcome to our channel, 70 by 70 Retirement. I'm Petra.
And I'm Josh.
And we're so glad that you're here. And today we thought we would do another check-in, a weekly check-in, like what we've got accomplished from the last one, what we did, and then also what we still need to do before we leave, because again, the clock is ticking down and every day is one day less before we leave.
That's right. Hi, we're Josh and Petra, early retirees traveling the world slowly while sharing honest insights about retirement and life on the road. Join us and share in the journey. So what did we work on since our last update? The big thing is the house. We got some painting done. We had some professional painters come in and do like a large portion of the main room. I did some painting upstairs in the second bedroom, and since then we got some photos taken this past week, and
they look fabulous.
Yeah, the photos
look fabulous.
Photos look fantastic. Yes. And so then after the pictures, we picked a price point and put the house on the market, and that happened today, and we've already had somebody come through and view the house, so that's really great.
Yeah, on our first day we posted it, and within 10 minutes we had somebody already asking for a viewing. Yeah. So at this point in time we have 4 viewings set up for the first 3 days, so we're super excited about that. A lot of people have viewed the post, a lot of people have saved the post, so we're feeling very hopeful.
Yes, it's a very positive start to all of this.
Yes. We also have continued to look at accommodations in Europe where we're starting out. Mm-hmm. And it takes more time than I think people realize, because again, you're looking in whatever city you want to go to, looking at price point first. You put in, kind of filter by your budget and what they have accommodation wise, or I should say amenity wise, in where they located. So is it near public transportation? And so it takes a lot longer to do that, but we're still working on that. I think we mentioned last time, or in one of our last videos, mm-hmm. I think on the travel channel, yeah, that we had figured out what we thought we wanted to do, yeah, where we were going to go, and then we didn't count Schengen rules correctly. So Schengen is a certain number of countries in Europe.
The majority.
A lot. I forget how many mm-hmm. that belong to Schengen. So they're still in Europe. It's just certain countries belong in Schengen. And for U.S. passport holders, you can stay 90 days out of every 180. And then the non-Schengen countries, which are some of the Baltics, or Balkans, excuse me, but not all Balkan countries, because more and more are joining Schengen. Mm-hmm. So we didn't count those days correctly. So we thought we had everything perfect, and then we had to go back and kind of refigure things so that we know that we are not spending more than 90 days out of the 180 in Schengen countries.
So it's a big deal and a big gaffe on our part for not having, it's funny, I remember when we first started putting this all together, the very initial plan, we had Schengen days and we were counting them off, and unfortunately as we went through, we just kept adding more of these Schengen countries to our list, and by the time we went back and looked at it, we've gone way over. We're not going to be able to stay in all these places like this. So
back to the drawing board.
Yeah, back to the drawing board. Yep.
It's okay.
It'll be okay. Yeah. We're still going to get to do the majority of what we wanted. We just have to kind of think about 6 weeks differently than we did previously.
Yeah. Also, we have in the last couple days filmed more YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. So we're constantly thinking about topics that we think might be interesting or valuable to our viewers, and creating, like I said, we don't really write scripts, but creating kind of like an outline with bullet points. Mm-hmm. That in and of itself is kind of a full-time job.
Yes.
And then, then you got the filming and the editing, which he does.
Yeah.
So we've done more of that. We have looked at doing some medical tourism. Now, we're not going to tell you at this point what we're thinking of or planning. If it works out, then of course we will film. We'll talk about that process and we will film it. But we were looking at having some things done overseas, and it's about 25% of the cost of having those same things done here. Some procedures are more. We're not necessarily looking at those kind of items, but just in general.
So no gold teeth, right? I don't need gold teeth.
Right. But if we decide to end up doing some stuff, of course, we'll let you guys know. We'll film it and talk all about it.
Absolutely. So then also this past week, I spent some time learning about investment banking, where you get dividends paid out, monthly dividends for different investments. After the sale of the house, we're going to have a little cash, and the plan is to put some of that towards some of these investments. And so I investigated. I spent a few days this week to understand what it all meant and how you go about doing that. And so we're still going to meet with Charles Schwab to talk about the best way to actually proceed once we have the larger amount of money to do that with.
Yeah.
But it was important that I figured that out, because I didn't want to do it wrong and lose money. Very important money.
Yeah. Another thing regarding Charles Schwab is I have a 401k with my previous employer, and we're going to be meeting with them to see if we can roll it over into Charles Schwab so that those retirements are there with them as well, kind of in one place.
And that's something I'll probably consider also once I've retired from my job.
I think we talked about this on the last video, is that we used our laser and the products to make tic-tac-toe boards that we were going to give away as promotional items for our YouTube channel on our transatlantic cruise that we're taking to leave the United States. And then once we get into Europe, we're also doing a cruise that's more of a business cruise. It's like a business. We're learning more about YouTube. It's for YouTubers. And so we made those tic-tac-toe boards to play while people are wanting something to do on the cruise. But then we also decided to purchase business cards that we can tuck in the packaging so they can scan the QR codes for our channels and hopefully subscribe and watch us.
We had a very emotional day, I believe it was yesterday. We rehomed our third fur baby, third of 4. It was a challenge. She was had the most personality out of our 4 little ones, and that made it more challenging. I think that it was hard, because we had such strong attachments to her. I
like to call her, she was a little shit,
yes.
But I loved her so much. She loved to chase, and she would chase the older cats, and of course, they didn't want to be chased, so we're always like, Lily, stop it, But, she just had that personality. Plus, she was our cuddle bug, and slept with us at night and kept us warm and cuddled. And
one of only 2 that were lap cats.
Yeah. And I think it's not that I wasn't sad, because I did a lot of crying as well when the other 2 cats left, and they were rehomed together, because I absolutely did. And I think also what is part of emotional too is because it's the 3rd or 4th and we have 1 cat left, and unfortunately we're keeping and providing a life to our 4th cat as much as we can, but she does have cancer. So we will have to put her down before we go. So I think it's just everything that's going on, and we're getting close to the end. And then our 3rd of 4 cats had been rehomed, so she's the last one to be home. Just very emotional with everything else that was going on.
We had a really busy last couple of days with regards to the house, and between that and having to let this one go, it was just hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
So
moving on because you don't want to see me cry.
Yeah.
Things that we still need to work on.
Yes. So we still need actually have some, just a little bit, in the very middle of our plans, some time we have to figure out where we're going to go and where we're going to be. And waiting on the, like the medical tourism thing is part of figuring that out. And Schengen, of course, is the other part of that. So we have that to do. We have just a few belongings left over. After we sell the house, there's going to be just a few things left to actually move out the door, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we'll be editing and producing YouTube content.
Yeah. And last time, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, when we posted our kind of first check-in, we talked about making sure we had power of attorney, like a will, beneficiaries all set up. We have not completed that yet, so that is something else that we need to do. And I think that's part of that conversation when we meet with Charles Schwab, that we're, on our list of like 3 or 4 things that we need to talk to him about. So we haven't completed yet, but it's in the process, just waiting for our meeting with Charles Schwab.
Retirement benefits is something I've been working on. I've looked up my retirement from my current position, and I have another retirement from a previous position that I have to go back and figure out how that works. Those are important.
Kind of like what's coming up next is, selling the house. And things are kind of in limbo right now because, of course, we don't know when we'll get an offer. We don't know when we're going to sell it. We're hopeful that it's soon. Once we get an offer that we accept, planning that about 30 days, in between, and getting everything done that we need to get done. And we don't know, because when we get an offer, sometimes they want to negotiate different things to possibly be done with the house. Are they going to do that? Are we not? How do we plan for those things? Can we plan for those things? Not really sure. So we just feel like right now with the house, yes, it's on the market, and we're so excited that we got so much interest in it in just like a half a day so far. I say we hope to be homeless very soon.
Yeah.
But, some of that stuff is still in limbo because we're still trying to figure it out. You guys know what I'm talking about if you sold a house.
Yes. Anybody who's gone through this should know. So then we also have to plan our South Dakota visit. And hopefully we are thinking about being homeless at that point, to the point where maybe by the time we come back from South Dakota, we're actually also moving out of our house. So that's important. We have talked about it a lot. We just haven't moved on anything yet. And a lot of that is, again, we're waiting for the results of the sale.
Because it all depends on the house, if we get an offer, and for closing, if we have to be here. And we had talked about, for those of you that are new, what South Dakota means is that we're going to South Dakota to become residents of South Dakota, because it's a state that digital nomads tend to become residents of, because it has some financial benefit. Honestly, like there's no state income tax in South Dakota. So we're kind of up in limbo with that, depending on when closing could possibly be for the house. So we're kind of waiting it out a little bit.
This week, though, we both get to celebrate our birthdays. For Petra, she gets to have it on the weekend like usual, and mine is during the work week again. So what I'm telling everybody is this is going to be the last year that this will be the last birthday that I willingly work. I'm not working any more birthdays after this. This is the last day.
Yeah. Something else that we still need to do, and we had mentioned this before, is you want to have multiple ways to access your money when you're slow traveling. Because if you only are relying on one means, if something happens to your ability to access it, well, you still have bills and you still have to do these things, so you need another way. Our main way to access is going to be Charles Schwab, but we're going to have also a Chase account. So we still need to set up that Chase like savings and checking account where we'll also keep money as a second way. So we still need to do that.
The last couple of things, selling our last car. That again is dependent on when we're moving out. And then my retirement, which is again, waiting on the house.
Yeah.
So the house is really, really critical at this point. Once that's done, all sorts of things will fall into place. Of course, it'll be a mad rush to get it all done too.
Now we know, though, the first part of April will actually be his last, if anything.
Yeah.
And that's no joke. April 1st is no joke. But it's possible if the sale of the house goes earlier, then he can actually retire earlier.
Yeah. Things that were unexpected over this last 2 weeks. Yesterday, we were on our way to do some errands, and somebody was waving us down saying, hey, there's something under your car you need to check out. It looks important.
You know what? Actually, we were at the stoplight. This is funny. And we see the car next to us, and he's waving. And I thought, well, maybe we know him. So I start waving back like, hello, hello, hello. And then he rolls down his window, so I roll down mine. And that's when he said, hey, you have something hanging from the car, and it kind of looks important.
Yeah.
So we had to pull over.
We went and checked it out, and there's this thing hanging down. I don't know what it was. It looked like a bracket to me, and I thought, well, that can't be good. So we need to take it into, oh, hello,
That's our
Sophie.
that's our cat, Sophie.
We need to take it in and get it checked out, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. And I was like, this is just one more thing. Seems like everything is breaking at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I took it in today, and it turned out to be nothing. So
Yeah.
it literally cost me no money at all,
Yeah.
just an hour of my time. So that worked out.
Another thing that was really kind of unexpected is a couple of weeks ago, we were looking at our accommodations in November because we were going to be going to the Christmas markets, because I absolutely love the Christmas markets. And we booked accommodations, and we're so glad that we did. There were some changes to the time we were going to spend in Prague. Again, it kind of came down to some medical tourism that it didn't look like it was going to work out there. Mm-hmm. So Josh was like, well, maybe we're not going to spend 2 weeks in Prague, and started looking at like hotel rooms and accommodations in that area. And 2 weeks ago, there was plenty of places, especially in our budget, but 2 weeks later, just a few nights ago.
Yeah. Pretty much all the weekend dates are full, and the prices went up. So now, instead of it being about anywhere from $50 to $150 a night, everything is around the $300 mark. And so we're thankful that we were able to book early, especially our time in Prague. We're really saving a lot of money by having booked the hotel we got. And then we've also, in general, by booking these places on points, have made such a huge savings. It's literally been thousands of dollars we've saved by buying points when they were cheapest and then using them towards the hotel rooms. This is exactly what everybody preaches you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We did it, and man, did we save a lot of money. We're eventually put a video together just to show you just how beneficial it was and how you can do it too. It's really not that difficult. You just have to remember to do it.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think about this. These Christmas markets are in November. We booked it in January.
Yeah.
10 months out, and they were fine. Now, 9 months out, because we're in February, all of a sudden the prices are much higher.
Yeah.
So booking as early as you can, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of the long-term travelers, the nomads, have said is the best way to get these deals is a year out, a year in advance.
And I think one closing thought is it seems as we're closer now. We're basically about 2.5 months before we leave. It seems like time is speeding up, and days go by very quickly.
The time is flying by. Every day you look at your list of things to accomplish and you're like, wow, I didn't get nearly as much accomplished as I wanted to. It's a very stressful time, and every day it feels like a work day. I mean, you're getting up early, putting in your hours, getting your stuff done as much as you can, and still it's totally like work.
I know. It's, by the time we leave, it's going to be about a year, but I feel exhausted, just on this kind of high energy, and these are all the things that we have to do, and this is what we got to accomplish. Oh, but there's more things that we have to do. And so again, I'm so glad that we've had that time. People that can do this in a short period of time, hats off to you, really, because I can't imagine it doing everything that we've done in less than 6 months. No way, you know. So I'm glad that we've had this year to do that. I'm thankful.
Yes. That's going to conclude our episode today. Just wanted to say thank you for watching. We appreciate you being here with us. If you enjoyed the content, please give us a like or a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe if you'd like to get more of our videos in the future, and click the bell to get notifications on when the videos are released.
Yep. And thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the posts.
See you in the posts.
Bye-bye.
So that brings us to what we actually completed this past year. Or year.
Well, we did
2 weeks.
We actually did forget some of that. That's a blooper.
Yes. So that brings us to what we. Oh God.
No, we still have something else. So.